Hello and welcome to another video. Today we are going to create a map infographic on the Canva website that represents the CO2 emissions of the European countries in 2021. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Okay, as you can see right here on this map, we have the representation of the CO2 emissions in the countries of Europe in 2021. If we notice right here on the left, we have values from 0 to 1 that represent countries with no data, and then different scales to represent the CO2 emissions in megatons for the countries of Europe. I already export this map, so if we go to this folder right here, I think it's this one. Let me drag it to this monitor. As you can see, I have this map already exported in a transparent background. This is very important to export this map in a transparent background. And we also need to have a legend to represent our map in Canva. To do this, go to Insert and click right here on Legend. Drag it like this. I want to make some adjustments to the legends, so to do this, click or right click on it, and we need to convert these to graphics. Okay. Then right click once again and click on Ungroup. We can remove these two titles and subtitles. We are not going to need it. And then what I want to do is to almost merge these classes, so I will select them all and just adjust to the bottom a little bit, so every class touches with each other. Okay. Then we go to properties and we need to remove the border of each class, so we don't have that gray border on each one of that classes. Okay. So right here on outline color, we just need to set this as no color, and click then on apply right here. Okay. So after this step is finished, what I want to do is to export this legend as a normal image. So I will just move it to the center of my page, and then I will go to Share, Export Layout. We are just going to do a normal exportation. But don't forget to select the transparent background. Once again, it's very important to have a transparent background, okay? And then we just click on export. Okay, so I will call it legend. As you can see, I already have one legend. Actually, it's the same, but I will export and overwrite it. I will say yes right here and click on export. Now that we have our map, we can close ArcGIS Pro because we are not going to use the software anymore. And now we are going to canva.com. Okay. I already have my Canva project done. This is a A3 landscape. Let's start by going to Uploads and then click on Upload Files, and we are going to upload the map that we already exported, and as well the legend that I exported moments ago. Okay, so I'll just select these two and click on Open. After a few seconds, both images will be available in this left panel. And to import this to the map or to the page, we just need to select by clicking with the left click on both images. Okay. Let's start by changing the background color to this gray and adjust the map to the page. So we can move it right here to the bottom right corner, then increase the map a little bit. Maybe increase the size a little bit. It's for me, it's very important that in this project I have a little bit of space in the left part of the page, because I'm going to use that side to create or to put a graph so I need a little bit of space on the left side. Okay, So I'll just try to adjust a map a little bit more, maybe increase a little bit. Okay, I think this way, yeah, this way I think I can work very good with this map. For the next step, let's click on the legend that we imported. So right there on the left, just click on the legend. And what we are going to do is to duplicate this legend, because we are going to need those numbers to have a reference. So I'll just, let me cut a little bit, then just click on duplicate. So we have both legends, okay? So one of them will be our guide and the other one will be the real one, okay? So let me just cut a little bit of this image and let's place it right here and increase the size of our scale, okay? Let's adjust a little bit more, something like this, and I think this size is good for this purpose, okay? Let's start by saying what this legend represents, so giving a title. In this case will be megatons of CO2 in 2021. Go to text, add text box, and I will say megaton CO2 and then 2021. Let's try bold. I will change this Cooper Hewitt. It's a font that I really like that we have in Canva. Change the color to white and decrease to 20, for example, or let's try actually 16. Let's rotate also this text to 90 degrees and place it at the side of our scale, okay? Let me just cut a little bit more of this scale, okay? So now we have also the scale or the legend and the title well adjusted, okay? Now the next step is to create the labels for our scale, and that's why we needed to duplicate that scale, that legend, so we have a guide for our values, okay? So the first class, so from 0 to 1, this represents countries with no data, or for example, as you can see right there on the map, Russia, we don't have data, so it's in gray. So we can type no data and place it right at the top of our legend. Then we just need to duplicate or clicking on Ctrl C and Ctrl V to duplicate our labels. Don't forget to adjust the text to the right. This will be 1. Then here will be 158.19. Then for this one will be 237.29. Then 316.38. And then you just do this to all the classes, okay? Okay, there we go. We have all the values represented. Then I will think that I will need to decrease a little bit the size of this text because it's a little too big. So let me try to change this from 14 to 10 maybe. Let's try. Yeah, I think 10 will be perfect for this for this map. Once again, we need to set or to adjust all the values in the middle of where the division takes place, because we changed the font size. So let's delete the original legend, and let's start by adjusting all the values. Let's start by the first and last one, and then we just set this right there on the middle of each division. Okay, so let's adjust all the values. They actually the values seem that they didn't move very much. Okay, let's just try to adjust these ones. Okay, and I think, yeah, it looks great. Okay, every map needs a title, so let's go to duplicate this text. Let's rotate back to 0 degrees, and this map will be called CO2 emissions in Europe 2021. Okay, we need to increase the font size, but maybe first let's go to effects, click on lift. Intensity will be the maximum, and font size can be, for example, 24. No, maybe a little bit more. Let's try 30. Yeah, 30. I think it's better. Adjust this to the right and place it in line with the text. Okay, there we go. Now I will use this left side of this map to create a graphic that will represent the total emissions of each European country in 2021, and as well the emissions per capita. Okay, I will create this graphic in Excel. I already have a folder or a file with this data. This is an Excel file I will use, so I will just double click on it to open. In this Excel file we have the name of each country, the name of the original name, the number of population, the megatons of CO2, and as well the CO2 per capita in tons. Okay, we are going to create a graph with this column, the column B, as well the column E and the column F. Okay, so I'll just select them all, go to insert, and then I will just select this bar chart. Okay, this 2D, the first one. On this chart, let's start by removing these lines, these axis lines, as well the chart title and the legend as well. Now what we want to represent is to represent the CO2 in megatons with a bar chart, but the CO2 per capita we want to represent with a line. So we just click on properties, then go to combo, or to change chart type, then to combo, and then for the series number 2 we choose line and we select the secondary axis. Okay, and just click on OK. I noticed that we have actually too many countries with the value 0, so we don't have data. What I'm going to do in this example is to remove them, okay? Because there's no need to represent these countries, because we don't have data. So every country that have CO2 in megatons or per capita with value of 0, I will just delete them, okay? So this one, Monaco as well, then Armenia and Azerbaijan as well. I will delete them. Georgia and Russia is the last one. Okay, there we go. Now every country has values. Let's now go to chart design, add chart element, axis titles, and I will create axis titles for the axis on the left and as well for the axis on the right. So for the left will be megatons of CO2. Let's place it right there on the left. Before I move to the right axis, let me change a little bit of this text. You will understand why I'm going to do this later. So let's click here and change the text direction to rotate all text to 270 degrees like this. And we are going to do this to all the text in this example, okay? 270 degrees to this one as well. And for the axis, we want to rotate it as well. Okay, so for the megaton CO2, we need to rotate it 270 degrees. Okay, go to format and change it here. Okay, let me just adjust this. Okay, like this is perfect. And let's do the same to this axis. Okay, I'll rotate 270 degrees. Let's add the secondary axis title here. Secondary, you can choose actually secondary vertical, and this one will be tons of CO2 per capita. Okay, actually in the column F it's in megatons, but the value is in tons. Okay, so tons of CO2 per capita. Let me just correct this one. Let me adjust it here on the right, maybe here. It's perfect. Now let's increase the size of each one of these bars. Just select it, right click, format data series, and gap width. I like to choose 50%. Okay, so the bars increase a little bit. Now let's change the color of this line. I will use a green of this map. How can we do this? Go to Elements, here on the left, just add an element of your choice, for example this one. And if we select on the color, we can see that we already have the colors of this map right there on the left. Okay, so I'll choose this one, then I will go to Add New Color, and right there we have the X code that we can use on Excel. Okay, so if we go back to Excel, we can click on this line, go to Format, Shape Outline, More Outline Colors, Custom, and you paste the X file, the X code right here, and click on OK, and the color of this line will change. Okay. On this type of graphics, I like to place a marker on each value. So right click on the line, go to marker options, built-in. I will choose this circle, and I will just increase the size to 6, and I will fill with the white color. Okay. Okay, I think it's very good. For the bars, I will set this color to white. So we are going to set the color to white here. Okay, and as well we need to change the text colors to white, because the background of our map is in gray, so we need to set this as white. Okay, so set these, all of them at white. Then the last things that we need to do is to remove the outline of the chart. So shape outline will be no outline, and the shape fill will be no fill as well. So transparent background. Then we just need to right click on it, click on copy, and then we can easily click on paste, and the graph will be placed in the Canva. Okay, let's see if the size of the graph is good, or if we need to adjust the graph a little bit more. I think the graph is a little too big, so let's go back to the Excel and decrease the size a little bit, maybe something like this. Let's try to do this again. Okay, I think the size now it's good. We can adjust this chart a little bit. Okay, I think it looks good. Okay, very nice. Okay. Okay, this axis, the title, it's not on the perfect fit. So let's try to correct this. Okay, something like this. I think it worked. Let's try to place it on the Canva once again. Okay, now it's good. Let's decrease the size once again. And now let's go back to Excel to create the legend of this chart. Okay, so on this graph, go to chart design, and let's add a legend. It can be on the bottom. We need to change the name of the series. So to do this, right click, select data, click on edit for the series number 1, and we can select the name at the top, click OK, and we do the same for the series number 2. So the series number 2 will be the CO2 tons per capita. Okay, click on OK. We can change the name to be better. For example, megatons CO2, like this, and this one can be tons of CO2, then space and per capita. Okay, then we just copy the chart once again and paste it, and we will just cut the legend. That's the part that we need. Okay, actually I forgot to change the color of the text to white. Let's put it at white. Let's copy once again, remove this one, paste, and cut the graph once again. Okay, and now it looks good. Let's just cut the graph, and we can place the legend, for example, here at the top. That's very visible, and I think this size is good. Okay, perfect. And let's move to the next step of this infographic or this map infographic. One thing that I like to do in this type of maps is to highlight some of the most important data. So in this case, we can, for example, highlight the country that has more population, for example, or have more megatons of CO2, or the country that has less megatons of CO2, for example. So let's just go to elements and add this line, and here line start, I will choose this circle with the transparent background. I will change the color of this line to white, and we can start by Germany, for example, and we can say that Germany has the higher value of megatons of CO2 in 2021. So we can highlight this. Okay, so the person that sees this map clearly notices that Germany is actually the country that has more emissions of CO2. Okay, so I like to do this on almost every map that I do. We can place it right here. Then we can select this text, for example, we can duplicate. Let's try this one. Control C and Control V to duplicate. Let's increase the size to 12. I will call it Germany for the title. Then I will click on Enter. And I will write population. Okay. Then we can go back to Excel. And then we see the values. Okay. I will write megatons of CO2 and as well the tons of CO2 per capita. Okay. I will adjust all the text to the left. Let's change the color and place it as bold. The color will be this green once again. Okay, 14. Let's try this font size. And then for the population, we go back to the Excel and we can see that Germany has, let's see, 84 million people. Okay, we just copy and we can paste it here on Canva. I like to do on these spaces. Then we do the same for the megatons and for the emissions per capita. So megaton is 632.77. That's the number, the higher number of our legend. And for the CO2 per capita is 7.50 tons per person, okay, in 2021. So will be 7.50, and then we can move this text. Actually, let me just set this as bold. Yeah, it looks way better this way. I forgot to bold the T. Okay, perfect. Let me just increase the size of the main title to 16. Okay, way better, and move it to the bottom of the line. Okay. Then we can, for example, represent the value of Gibraltar. That's very impressive that Gibraltar has the higher value of CO2 emissions per capita, so we can highlight the value of Gibraltar. And for this we do the same thing, so we just copy this line that we already create for Germany. In this case I will just rotate to the other side, decrease a little bit, place the circle in Gibraltar. It's so small that we cannot see the color of Gibraltar. Then just copy and paste this, adjust this to the right, place it, or actually let's just change the name to Gibraltar. The population, let's go back to Excel to see the population. It's 32,000 people. Okay, 32,688. The CO2 emissions 0.6. And the emissions per capita 19.57. Okay, 19.57. Let's move this to the bottom of the line. And then, for example, we can represent or highlight, for example, maybe the country with the lower CO2 per capita, for example. Let's select the column F, sort to the smallest to the highest, and we can see that Albania has the lower value of emissions per capita, so 1.38 tons of CO2 per capita. So let's go back to Canva. In this case, I will use once again a previous created line. Actually, I will maybe choose this one because this is it's a large line, or it's a bigger line. Let's rotate it, place it here on Albania. Let's just increase a little bit of this line, maybe something like this. Place it right there. Let's just copy this text from Gibraltar. Change this name to Albania. Let's go back to Excel to view the population. It's 2 million. Let's copy and paste it. The CO2 emissions are 3.92. And the emissions per capita 1.38. Okay, then we can adjust this to the bottom of the line like this, and we can finish this part for now. Okay, so we highlighted three countries, and I think it's enough for this example. Okay. Now in this left side I want to do a little bit more on this map, so I'll just copy and paste this Germany text, and what I want to do here is to highlight not the countries but the variables. For example, the country with most population. So in this case we know that the country with most population, in this case actually is Russia, but if we set Russia with no data, so we are going to represent Germany with 84 million people. So let's just add this, and also search on elements for the Germany flag. So we can type Germany, and we can select, for example, this flag, and we place this at the bottom of this text. Now we can highlight the higher value of emissions in 2021. So we can, for example, type higher CO2 emissions, megatons. We know that it's Germany as well, with 632.77 megatons of CO2 emissions. We can duplicate the flag here. Okay. We can also highlight the higher CO2 per capita that we know that is Gibraltar. So we can say CO2 per capita. This is in tons. Let me set per capita in italic. We can also search for the flag of Gibraltar right there on elements. If we search for Gibraltar flag, this one is free to use. Let me adjust or set it as the same size of the Germany flag. Okay, this is Gibraltar, and the value is 19.57. Fantastic. And to finish, let's highlight the value of the lower CO2 per capita emissions. In this case it's Albania. So let's change this from higher to lower. Change this from Gibraltar to Albania. Let's set this as bold and change the value to 1.38. Okay. I don't like the position of this text, so let's select all of these text and flags. I forgot to place the Albania flag. Let's try to place it on the better position, okay? Maybe try to adjust with the Germany highlight that I made previously. Let's search for the Albania flag. Is this one? I will maybe increase a little bit the size of the line of the Germany highlight so I can place these flags in a different position. Okay, so let me just increase the size of this line a little bit, just a little bit, like this. Now let me move the text to the left, select all this text and flags and place it in line with this text. Okay, I think it's way better this way, okay? And now to finish we just need to write the data, and I will write as well the person who made this map. So I will just select this no data, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to duplicate, set it here at the bottom, and I'll type made by, then my name. I can say what I am. In this case I'm a geographer and I am a GIS specialist as well. And I can highlight my YouTube channel, Maps by RGD. I can write what I do, tutorials on YouTube, and the data as well. So in this case, International Energy Agency 2021, CO2 emissions per capita in this case. So CO2 emissions by country per capita. Then for the Europe shapefile, I downloaded it in the Technical University of Denmark, and the data of the population was from the World Bank group. And that's it. I can just reduce the font size and as well bold this made by and the data as well. Okay, great. Let me adjust right here. Perfect. And now for the last step, just click here on the top right corner on share. Click on download, choose the file type. In this case I will choose PNG, and the file will be downloaded to your download folder. Okay, so let's see how the map went. Let me just drag it to this monitor. I think the map turned out pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment what you want to learn next.